And the Centers for Disease Control describes fentanyl as a synthetic opioid that's 50 times stronger than heroin, 100 times stronger than morphine. And it's a major contributor to overdoses in the United States. CDC also says that 150 people die every day from fentanyl-type opioids. And it's for this reason that the Drug Enforcement Agency has ramped up its efforts against fentanyl. Daniel Cuomo is the special agent in charge of the DEA's Houston region, joins me this morning to talk about the aggressive stance the DEA has put into place. Good morning, and thank you for being here.
Man, I'm happy to be here today.
It's about time. You've been here how long?
I'm trying to figure out what took you guys so long.
I know, it's my fault. I'll take the bad for that. Hey, we're going to talk about fentanyl in a second, but a little bit about you. How long have you been with the DEA, and how did I know you were an HPD officer at one point, how did that help enhance your decision to go ahead and go forward to the DEA?
Look, I've been with DEA approximately 25 years right now, and it's been a great run. It's been really exciting. I started off with the Houston Police Department in 1991, and I stayed there for 6 years. Mm-hmm. And Houston Police Department really put the pavers underneath me to be successful with the DEA.
This whole process, the DEA, I think a lot of times people don't really understand what goes into what you do in this organization. The region of the DEA, when we talk about the Houston region, we're not talking about the Houston Metro. Your office provided me with a map that shows the size of the Houston DEA. That's a lot of coverage. Talk about the challenge involved in being able to be responsible for that kind of area of the state and the coordination involved.
Look, it's really exciting because we really cover almost all angles and all aspects of drugs coming into the United States with the area that we have. Mm-hmm. From a major city like Houston all the way down to the border, trying to stop drugs from coming into the country. And once they get to Houston, trying to stop them from going out throughout the United States. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's exciting, it's fun, it's hard work. Got some great men and women that are really doing an excellent job. And one of the most important things, especially for the Houston area and for the Houstonians to know, and throughout Texas is very special when it comes to law enforcement because we all work together really, really close. And the relationship I have with HPD in Harris County is really second to none, and it really works well in this area.
So let's talk about the challenges of fentanyl. What are some of the ways your agency is working to kind of dent the flow into this area? It's obviously got a high profile now, a lot of attention focused on what it's doing not only to this area, but the country.
Yeah, so right now, the great thing is in every office, we have a fentanyl task force that we have created, and we work shoulder to shoulder with the state and locals. And look, once I went out to the state and locals and we pitched this, that we're going to really focus on fentanyl, every single one jumped on board. Mm-hmm. Because everyone in law enforcement knows this is a problem. This is a situation that we have to get a hold of. And with these task force, we're really putting all of our brains together, so say from different agencies, mm-hmm. from other federal agencies and state and locals, really to combat it. And the important thing is right now we have homicide working with narcotics. And that's very different because homicide investigations, they think one way, narcotics thinks another way. Mm-hmm. We're bringing those two brains together to really attack the cartels and solve some cases.
So on one hand, you're talking about stopping the trafficking and stopping that sort of thing. But when you talk about homicides, that's kind of on the other end. That's what happens when someone who may take fentanyl dies and then homicide gets involved. Is that kind of the way when you talk about working together to making the penalties a little bit more challenging? And so anybody who sells, they know that they're going to be in trouble if someone dies as a result?
Absolutely. So right now you're looking at up to 20 years to life. If we can prove that you sold a fentanyl pill that caused an overdose death, mm-hmm. and we have some really talented agents that are working really hard to prove that, and we have had success with it. Mm-hmm. So when we put these task force together of homicide and narcotics working together, we're making this happen on the street right now. So if you have someone on the street corner selling one pill that causes an overdose, that person can be charged. Mm-hmm. Up to 20 years to life. And if we are successful of finding out who his source of supply was, as high as we can go, we can put all of them in jail for the same amount of time.
And that's different from what it used to be, right? I mean, this is something that's happened relatively recently, the way this coordination has happened?
Yes, it is. It's new. The U.S. Attorney's Office is completely on board. The District Attorney's Office are completely on board. And it's really great times where we all can work together for one cause.
What you do is when we hear about DEA, it's always about the drugs and coming across. There's always this politicized a lot in terms of how much is coming across the border and how much money is devoted to what's going on. Is your agency getting the support you need to do what you have to do? You've been involved with them for a long time. You've seen political things ebb and flow. Where we stand now?
Look, the political side doesn't affect me at all. It doesn't affect my men and women. All we worry about is stopping drugs from coming in the country and putting those in jail who are utilizing them. The biggest thing right now for us too is we're changing. Look, in 1991, all I want to do was arrest everybody and put everybody in jail. Right now, I understand we have to have an education part of it, and we also have to have an awareness. So I can tell you, I've grown from 1991 all the way to 2023, and I completely understand that we have to have the awareness and education right now to help us with this problem.
So we talk about fentanyl, but there are other things that are still coming across, and still we can't, take your eye off everything else that's going on. When I talk about how broad the challenge is, there's a lot out there, is it not?
No, absolutely. Look, marijuana, right now, this marijuana is potent. It's different from the marijuana back in the days. So I need everyone to be careful with that. And I know a lot of times you say, oh, marijuana, but it's so potent right now. Just be careful, all right? And then methamphetamine, it's all over the place. It's man-made. It's coming out of Mexico. It's here. People are utilizing it. People are dying from it also. And then right now, you have the drug cartels that are mixing fentanyl with methamphetamine, and it's causing immediate overdose. Every time you think you have it, they come up with something new. But I tell you, we're doing our very best to stay on top of it all to make a difference.
What's the coordination among the agencies to make all that happen, to stop and curtail some of this stuff?
Look, it starts from the top and it goes all the way down. It's always easier for the guys on the ground to work together. They love working together. And I can tell you right now, throughout Houston, from any special agent in charge on the federal side of the house to the chief of police and the sheriffs, right now, I'm telling you right now, it's like very exciting because we all want to work together to solve this problem.
What do you tell the viewer out there who just, they don't know what they can do or what they should do? They hear what we talk about, and they hear some of the news about some of the arrests being made, and now we know about this program. What would you want an average citizen to know about what you're doing and how they might be able to support you?
Look, here's the most important thing right now. Let's talk about awareness and education. We have to understand, I need all the viewers to truly understand that if you did not get the pill or any medication prescribed by your doctor and get it filled by a legitimate pharmacy, don't take it. Because these drug cartels are making counterfeit pills that look better than the pills that Big Pharma is making. And one will think, oh, well, the pill looks real, and they take it and it causes an immediate overdose. We just can't have that going on. So what happens is you have some individuals, let's talk about college students right now, who want to study for a test. So they feel like, oh, I want to take an Adderall to stay awake. But they really don't know where this other student got this Adderall from. They just assume they got it from a legitimate pharmacy, but they could have got it from someone off the street corner. They take that one pill for the first time to study for a test, and it causes an immediate overdose. The citizens have to know when you're taking these pills, you're playing Russian roulette with your life.
Well, we'll leave it there. Thank you, Special Agent Daniel Cuomo. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for your time with us. Good luck as you continue to go ahead and stop the flow of all the stuff that's coming in that you need to stop. And the education of our viewers is important. If you haven't gotten it from the pharmacist, don't take it.
Exactly.
Thank you, sir.
All right,
appreciate it, all you've done.